Milano Women Explorer. If you're new here, my name's Austin. Thanks for coming and checking out my channel. Today, I'm just kind of roaming around the couple of parks that are near my apartment here in Bucharest, but I wanted to answer a question that comes up constantly, seriously, time again. The question is, Austin, how do you afford to travel? What do you do for a living? How do you make money? Well, it's quite simple, really. I have a job. Now, to protect the anonymity, anonymity.
Okay, don't hurt yourself. Welcome aboard, Explorer!
To somewhat protect myself and the company that I work for, I'll just keep that information classified for now. The important bit to know is that the job that I have is just a remote job. It allows me to work from home, or in this particular case, anywhere with a Wi-Fi or internet connection. So that's it. Yeah, I just travel the world from Wi-Fi connection to Wi-Fi connection. Nothing really super special. Now, that's not my only source of income. There are other little revenue streams that I use to diversify my money intake, if you will. I dabble in trading. I haven't done that in a while. I haven't really done that since I started traveling, just because the time hasn't quite worked out. You know, I'm 7 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time, which is what all of the American exchanges run on. So it's kind of difficult for me to work my normal job and vlog and everything else and trade at the same time. So I haven't really had much of an opportunity to do that. Another thing that I'm obviously trying to do is monetize YouTube videos. I mean, it would be great if all I had to do was just travel and skydive and scuba dive and go cave spelunking and just spend my entire day just being adventurous. A man can dream, but unfortunately this channel doesn't yet make enough money to justify that at all. In fact, it doesn't really make any money at all. It is going on 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I should probably try and get some food. Now that we got that question out of the way, what do you say? You want to come with me to get some food?
The basic idea is that there's a groove that I can follow that's exactly right for
Sometimes when I try to reason, you don't seem to listen at all. I don't know if it's just a feeling, or if we are about to fall.
Just ate at the Cafe Klein in front of the Rembrandt Hotel. Wasn't bad. It was cheap. It was like $4 for a big bowl of penne bio pumpkin pasta with bacon. I don't even know. It was good. I feel like I've got stuff in my teeth. If there's stuff in my teeth, I'm sorry, deal with it. All right, so back on the earlier question, how do I afford to travel? It's not just that I have a job, it's also that I'm budget conscientious. It is really easy to spend a ton of money while you're just touring around because you don't think of it. You're too busy concentrating or not concentrating at all, but you're having fun and you're just not thinking about it. And sooner or later, your bank account goes woo! When I'm booking anything travel related, being my accommodation or actual transits like airplanes, trains, whatever, boats, ferries, I've spent countless hours researching the cheapest ways over the past 9, 10, I don't even know how long I've been traveling at this point. Over the past almost year, I have devised my own little tips that have saved me a ton of money, and that was just from pure experience, just figuring it out on my own. I will get around to sharing those tips with you, I promise. Something died in that dumpster. Gah. But I will say it doesn't take much. Odds are if you've got a job that will enable you to work remotely and travel in the first place, you probably already make enough money to travel. I mean, can you afford to live on your own? If so, then you can probably afford to travel. I need to walk into the store real quick to grab something to drink, and I walked right past it. I'll go into more details in a few minutes. Let me pay attention to what I'm doing. Something is seriously dead in there. Like, maybe a lot of somethings. Ugh. So while I was in the store, a can of Monster Assault energy drink decided to spontaneously explode And now my hand's all sticky. And so is the store. I tried explaining to the poor guy, like, look, my thumb is over the hole. If I take it off, it's going. He didn't speak English. That's unfortunate for him. I don't really have a set number on how much money you should make to be able to afford to travel. Obviously, your mileage is gonna vary, and it really depends on where you're going. I mean, Eastern Europe is far cheaper than Western Europe. South America, Central America is pretty cheap. It all depends on where you're going. By far the biggest expense of touring Europe is just getting here from America. But even that doesn't have to be that expensive. A few months back when I was in Malta with my mom, my sister was talking about coming over and visiting. So I spent about 2 hours researching, maybe an hour and a half, and I found a way for her to get to Malta for like $400. Now granted, that wasn't round trip. Round trip would have been a couple hundred more. But again, the biggest expense is getting here. Once you're here, and this will blow most Americans' minds, but once you're here, traveling around Europe is cheap. It's cheaper than traveling around America. I kid you not, I could hop on a plane for like $25 to London and then like another $25 to anywhere else. It's ridiculous how inexpensive it is. It gets tricky when you have a lot of luggage, because all of the cheaper airlines like Wizz Air, for example, charge you extra for actually having luggage. If you have anything more than a backpack, you're getting charged a luggage fee, but even then it's usually not that bad. It's like 11, 12 euros maybe. It is hot today. Good God. Yes. As I said, once you're here, it's not that expensive. And obviously the time of season, whether it's high season or low season, this just means for most of you Americans who are clueless, tourist season or non-tourist season. Is it Christmas time? Is it summertime? Is it a time when people are going to want to travel and visit areas? Obviously that's going to jack up the price, albeit not by a surprisingly shocking amount. It's still somewhat reasonable. Now there are definitely some cheaper options to accommodations than what I've been using. I've just been using Airbnb, which, come to find out, Airbnb has this algorithm that, depending on how many places are booked at a particular time that you are looking into renting a place off Airbnb, then the price will go up. I forget what they call it. It's like smart pricing or something like that. Yeah, that's a little frustrating. I mean, I understand the benefit of it to hosts, but anyways, there are obviously cheaper options. You could stay in a hostel, you could stay in apartments that you look for online that just aren't part of Airbnb. But for me, it's easier, you know? It's simpler for me to just go on Airbnb, book a place, keep everything tracked in one location. You know, that way I'm not spending a whole bunch of time researching every month where I'm gonna be, you know? Speaking of which, that's another thing that makes it cheaper. The longer you can stay in a place, the better. When you're booking an apartment on Airbnb, for example, for a month, you get a monthly discount. For a week, you get a weekly discount. Sometimes that discount can be really large, like no bull. I have literally seen a monthly discount on Airbnb of 95%. It's ridiculous. If you're gonna stay for a week, you may as well book it for the whole month kind of thing. Didn't I pull a Red Bull out? And it's not just the cost of accommodation that becomes cheaper, your cost of travel becomes cheaper. So obviously if you're taking less airplanes, less trains, less buses, whatever, rent-a-cars, you're spending less money on travel if you stay in a place for a month because you're only traveling once a month. This is not a product placement. Okay, I have talked enough for today. I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. I will go into more details, I promise, in how I find cheap flights or whatever, because again, that's gonna be kind of a long episode and ain't nobody got time for that today. Anyways, thanks again for watching. If you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button, and there's a little bell, little notification, but you click that and it's like all notifications. That way you get live real-time updates when I post a video like today that's going live in a couple of hours. Anyways, I'm out of here. Bye.